Hey there, Mehibe Hill. It's so great to welcome you on the red couch. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Yes, feeling energized. I just got back from 4 weeks off over the summer, so ready to really dive into the last quarter of this year. Yeah, exciting things coming up.
Isn't it amazing that it's almost Christmas already?
Gosh, let's not mention the word Christmas because that always throws me into disarray. Yeah, absolutely. It's the year's just been flying by, but I think that's also an indication of, it's been a good one, and you probably feel the same, Angie, in terms of, when the time is flying by, it just means that you're busy and there's lots of great things happening.
Yeah, it means that you have a lot of fun, usually.
Yeah, yeah,
At least for me,
absolutely.
that's usually a sign that I feel like I have a lot of fun at work when the time is just flying by like that.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
yeah, and I also just noticed it's Friday the 13th today, which is funny. But so far no black cats have come across, and I believe this is a very good week, so I'm kind of excited about the whole September. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit more about your why, Mehibe. Why,
Mm.
you do what you do.
Mm, yeah, great question. So the why. Um, so being a coach to leaders in the global mobility space, I do what I do because I love supporting humans. The journey of self-discovery, cultivating self-awareness is a really vulnerable, emotional, and raw journey. And I love doing what I do because I've been there myself. I really understand the suffering and the pain that takes, but also there's the light as well.
Mhm.
Once we can truly connect to our best version. And so I love doing what I do because it is an incredible journey when somebody really can connect to themselves and start to feel that inner confidence that comes from themselves. So I'm grateful every day for what I do because I absolutely love what I'm doing, and I'm so passionate about supporting others to be vulnerable in their best version of themselves.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I almost think of you as like a younger version of me. You know,
That's a
You, I,
privilege. That's an honor.
yeah, I
Thanks,
think
Anne.
you're sort of, you're sort of now here, and I was probably there about 10 years ago. We have a similar journey, I would say. Maybe you could talk a bit more about that. What triggered your wish to be a coach, self-employed, start their whole business and get out of the operational global mobility work and
Mm.
the rat race that we used to be in before.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. So my journey from, I would say, kind of in-house to where I am today, I think just one thing there is that the in-house global mobility work that I was doing was part of a HR and global mobility program. So I was more project managing
Mhm.
for a number of years in a certain organization before then moving into the corporate immigration space. So I've seen it, I've seen it with my own eyes. I understand the challenges and have really, kind of bared the tears and the blood, shoulder to shoulder with the global mobility teams. And I think for me, my professional journey really connects into my personal journey because part of my movement, or that shift, I would say, from thinking about myself as a professional, full-time employee to entrepreneur, came when I moved to Barcelona. So I moved to Barcelona just over 4 years ago now, completely by chance during 2020 COVID summer. I fell in love with this place and don't know how I kind of connected so quickly to it. There was just something in my soul that started to sing after having, really tough 5 to 7 years. I was married, divorced, moving, going through some personal crisis, I would say, myself. And so once I was connecting into that feeling of joy, being thankful for what I have, and just spending time with myself, that's when I noticed that there are parts of me that I have not yet explored. And it was really one of these kind of light bulb moments where I was every day for about 6 months, I was walking on the beach every morning for a couple of hours. And after going on a number of retreats, doing a lot of breath work, doing a lot of connection back to self, I had this moment where I thought, I love working with people. I feel that my strengths come when I can be with someone one-to-one and have potentially, difficult conversations, but I really loved supporting my team to grow. And it was a strange kind of feeling at that point where I thought, maybe I could be a coach, maybe that could be something that I could do. And so I then opened the door and started to explore what that might look like, because I was planning to get another corporate job because I'd handed in my notice. I decided to take 6 months for myself, and I thought I'll go back into the corporate world, but from Spain. And then once I'd made that decision to open that door to explore becoming a coach and supporting others, especially on a one-to-one basis, that's when I thought, okay, this is me, and it felt really good. And I think that's one of the things that is really important when we're all going on our personal journey, to be able to tap into your own intuition, to connect to your heart. The mind is really helpful, but a lot of the signals that I get is from my heart, and it was saying, this is it, go for it. So I had to really tap into some courage, which is why I talk about the power of courage as my coaching philosophy, to just go with it. And so 4 years later, I'm here, and we're having a chat about my journey to becoming a coach. And this is what I do full time, and it's really scary, and every day is different, and every week and month is an uncertainty, but it's the uncertainty that I choose my chaos. I choose my joy, and I choose my chaos, and I'm really happy with that.
I love that. I have a new mantra that came to me in a yoga session, like relaxation, last week. And it's, I'm staying calm in chaos. Because it's not only my own chaos, but also the chaos of my clients, the people around me, my family, everybody, everybody creates chaos, obviously. And I'm staying calm. I'm a stone. All is well.
Yeah.
I'm trying very hard to be a Zen master these days.
Yeah, I think, when you do the jobs and we do, Ange, it's even more important that we stay conscious of that calmness. And I see myself as a lighthouse, strong, that pillar grounded into the murky waters. And I imagine you kind of feel the same, right? And it's having to take a much more conscious way of being and working and living, because you give so much energy to others.
Absolutely.
Hence why, I will take 3-4 weeks off during the summer, because things are really fast paced. And, I'm a coach, but I'm also a coach trainer and a coach mentor, supporting others to become a coach as well. So, I think as an entrepreneur, you've got to really about the energy that you are preserving and giving away as well. So yeah, I love us being our own Zen master, because I think we have to be. And even if you're not an entrepreneur, being conscious of your energy and your well-being and your Zenness, I think is super important.
Yeah. I think honestly, it's the number one priority for me right now in that stage of life is my health. And it's really, that's really why I basically stopped doing global mobility projects in-house, even, as a consultant, because I just feel like I need to have the space, the mental space, to be a really good coach. And I didn't have that when I was trying to, still run projects and consult and be inside the corporate world. It was good and helpful to a certain extent, but it was also limiting in the mental health space.
Yeah.
When you think about a younger version of yourself, like maybe, let's say 28-year-old Mehibe, and someone who's maybe in your shoes and thinks about changing the track, or even, thinking about becoming a coach or working in global mobility, whatever, whatever it is, what kind of advice would you give that younger person?
Mm. I would come back to connecting into your intuition and connecting into your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I've made the best decisions there because the heart doesn't tell us that it's safe. It's the mind that will try to persuade us to take the easiest route.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
heart supports our courage to be vulnerable and go out there and take, leaps of bold courage, bold moves to be vulnerable and to bring that chaos into our world. So I would say follow your heart, follow your intuition, but also, I think if anybody is looking at making a transition that is that big, if I look back to my transition, moving to Barcelona, moving from in-house into the entrepreneurial world, training as a coach, taking that leap, and then setting up a business, I had to get outside help.
Mm.
Don't do it on your own. I think that is such a big it's such a big piece of the core of our heart and our intuition, because it is really helpful as well to get support from people that can give you perspective, that can help you to cultivate self-awareness, that can help you to connect into, what is your heart desire? What is your intuition saying to you? What does a good decision look and feel like for you? So I had a coach myself for 6 to 9 months when I was transitioning here, but also into coaching. And also, when I set up my business, I got a business coach. So I think actually the biggest piece of advice would be those two things. How are you going to connect into yourself to really feel into a decision? And then how are you going to get the support you need, whether that's from the experts or a coach, therapy, whatever that might be, even family and friends, to support you to gain the perspective and explore your options before you make that decision.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely second that. And I probably told you already, I work with several coaches for different, like I have a whole team.
Yeah.
I'm trying, like I'm always looking for that person that will support me for what I just need in that moment.
Mm.
And I also noticed, I mean, my business is turning 15 next year. It's a teenager. I noticed that whenever we were in a crisis, and then I sought coaching and, learned something new, went through that crisis in my head with that coach, the business took another leap. So, so that's really, really important as a startup entrepreneur, to find the right people to tap into, the right resources. And I have another one, which will immediately lead us to social media and the next angle. And that is, for me, the most critical thing is networking. A
Yes.
great professional network. And that's also how we met. Yeah, we met
Yes.
in a WhatsApp group, basically. That was started by Miriam van Kempen, the miracle worker. She was
Yeah.
also the Red Couch before. So tell us a bit more about your, social media strategy. What is your favorite channel at the moment? How do you work there?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, we met a year ago on the WhatsApp group that started as Struggle Latte with a wink, for ladies in the global mobility space. And now that has transformed into Be Her. So now Miriam and I are partnering. We have 2 community hives on WhatsApp, one for personal, one for professional development and supporting each other. So I would say that in itself has been a huge honor and a privilege for me, partnering with Miriam in these, what I would refer to as empowerment anchors. Our networks are not just people that we talk to and connect to, they support us. And so these 2, empowerment anchors for women are so important. And I hope that others also have similar empowerment anchors in their communities as well. My favorite social media platform is, of course, LinkedIn. I would say that for me, it's gone beyond networking and it's become a place of making friends and family and a virtual office. It was a bit of a journey for me because I didn't know what LinkedIn really was. I didn't really use it that much when I was in-house, just day to day, plugging away at work. But as an entrepreneur, it's a platform to become visible. And I think for me, that is the key role that LinkedIn plays for me, is that people can see me. So people can see what I'm doing. They can hear my voice. I can be a voice for them. I can be a voice for all of the global mobility managers, relocation consultants, immigration managers that I'm meeting, and say, hey guys, we're all in this together. We're all going through the same struggles. We're all facing the same challenges of imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, assurance. And so for me, LinkedIn is my favorite place because I feel a connection because my people are there. I always kind of refer to it as my people are there.
Yeah.
And they, I've made such great friends. I met Miriam there, I met yourself via, LinkedIn, then onto the Be Her WhatsApp empowerment anchors. So it's a great place. I think it's a great place to be visible, but also to see others. And I feel that that's really important because, yes, LinkedIn is my strategy to support me to build my entrepreneurial business, but it also allows me to see and hear from others, which I feel is really important as a coach as well, because I feel that I'm in a very privileged position to support humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so by supporting humans, it's all about them.
Yeah.
Totally. And then I can understand how I can grow, how I can learn more to support those humans. So it's a great platform to learn. I feel that cultivating awareness of key topics, how people are feeling, is super important, especially as a coach.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I'm also now a fan of YouTube.
Yeah.
Funny because, honestly, I only discovered YouTube probably in the pandemic for my container gardening hobby that I started then because I didn't have anything else to do in my
Very
spare
cool.
time. And now I really like it. I really like it also, for sharing quick knowledge bites with my clients or, topics on things that they might be interested in. So it's a pretty cool upcoming platform as well. Now, Mehibe, we're coming to my last question for you. Is there anything exciting that you have coming up and that you would like to share with our viewers here?
Yeah, would love to. So I've mentioned Be Her. Have these two empowerment anchors by the WhatsApp groups for women in global mobility. We do have a retreat coming up. So October the 24th to the 27th. Lots of beautiful, life-loving, hardworking, joyful women coming together to discover themselves and to connect to each other. So 24th to the 27th of October in Barcelona.
Wow.
In the hilltops. I can't wait. It's going to be first retreat that I'm leading with Miriam. So super excited about that. So I'd say that's kind of one of the big things. And then, you mentioned YouTube, and I will be launching a YouTube channel, a new website, and a new podcast with 10-minute chunks of how we can essentially cultivate self-awareness and support ourselves to grow and learn and cultivate that power of courage within uncertainty. So I've got quite a few things coming up, but I would say definitely if you're a woman who's looking for some time out for yourself, prioritizing your learning and growth, I think it's going to be spectacular.
Amazing. Yeah, I can totally recommend that for everybody. Take a bit of time out and really press the pause button. Get a bit of a digital detox, and then be also in a community at Sisterhood that is very supportive. I hardly ever met any group that is so supportive.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I really think, this is something we need to also stress, that people are there for each other. They show up for each other, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you feel it too, because I feel that way, and it is a beautiful place when you can be vulnerable and know that even if not everyone responds because it's a big community as well in the Be Her WhatsApp groups, but you just know that people are listening, or that's touched somebody in terms of their heart or where they're at as well in their lives. So yeah, it's very exciting, and we are hoping to be running 2-3 retreats every year, and beyond Barcelona, hopefully we'll be going to the US as well at some point. Who knows, maybe Bali or South America. But I think it's so important that women, with all of the things that they're managing, family, partners, children, jobs, that we take time out for ourselves, because where we started today in the podcast about me saying, I'm privileged position to take 3-4 weeks off to fill up my energy cups. We need to keep topping up those cups and taking that conscious decision to look after ourselves.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Mehibe, it was wonderful talking to you and catching up with you. And I look forward to seeing you again shortly on our group.
Thank you. Thanks
Have
so
a
much for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And also, you need to tell me by email the next person that I should invite.
Okay, will do.
Speak soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.